more trades in the NFL draft first round. So here's what's happened. The Bills make a pick at 23 overall. They're going to take Kaiir Elam from Florida. How did we get here? Well, the Cardinals had this pick originally. They traded the pick for Marquise Brown, traded that to the Ravens. Then the Ravens took 23, traded it to the Bills in exchange for pick 25 and then 130. We'll talk more about Marquise Brown. We'll talk more about the Ravens pick another time. But this is about the Buffalo Bills right now. The Kaiir Elam pick, which I like a lot here, Sam. We were ready to mock Kaiir Elam to the Bills later in the first round. I think they started to see the run on corner, right? Trent McDuffie goes at 21 to the Chiefs. They traded up to get him. The Bills decided, hey, we got to make a move, go get Elam, and look to fill that cornerback 2 spot, which has been a bit of a question mark now in Buffalo this offseason.
Yeah, it's not the corner I would have taken for this spot.
It's the corner I would have taken, by the way.
Okay.
Just saying.
You were the model.
No, just me.
Oh, just you.
Just
okay.
me.
I personally would have gone with Andrew Booth. I think he makes a lot more sense for what they're doing. Elam is an intriguing player. So he's one of those guys whose career makes more sense upside down again, right? I've never understood what to do with that. By that, I mean his grades got worse every year as opposed to getting better. It's the opposite that you want to see. Had a coverage grade of 89.8 back in 2019. That went down to 81 2020 and then 58.1. So that's a pretty steep regression in the wrong direction. The numbers are tracking in a similar direction as well. Completion rate went up. Passer rating allowed went up. Everything basically got worse. And when you throw on the tape, you can definitely see the high end, right? You can see why teams would love this guy, particularly in press man. Like, he is the guy. I know Sauce Gardner got talked about this as like the best press man corner in this draft. And actually, he might be a better zone player than he is in press man. Elam really is good in press man. I don't love him in zone coverage, but he goes one-on-one with Jameson Williams and shuts him down in terms of press man. When he gets his hands on Jameson Williams, it's over. So that I love, but the Bills are not, like, they're not one of those teams that plays exclusively press man. They play a lot of zone. It's an unusual, it's not the scheme I would have expected to fall in love with Kaiir Elam and make him their first round pick.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we've seen that from other Florida prospects, by the way, like the upside down career. CJ Henderson, first rounder a couple of years ago, similar.
And it typically hasn't worked out well.
And it hasn't worked out well. Look, so I said I don't mind Elam as the pick here. I like him here. I don't love him as a prospect, but I understand he ran a 4.39, moves extremely well. I think he is. He's very aggressive at the catch point, a really high forced incompletion percentage, over 18% during his career. That's at that first round plus type of level when it comes to Elam. But I think from a Bills team building strategy, they don't have a ton of holes. I mean, they have built a really good roster, and it was this position that they were targeting opposite Tre'Davious White. I also think that gives them some flexibility. Sometimes when you see a pick, and so there's two things that could happen. We could misinterpret Elam's strengths and weaknesses. You could be wrong. Or
that doesn't sound like me.
Or Tre'Davious White could play anything, right?
True.
On the other, he could play press man. Maybe they're going to man up a little bit more in that system.
I mean, look, the other thing here is he does have incredible ball skills. Like, that guy can catch. That guy can make plays on the ball. And if you're going to be a press man coverage that is going to become more than that, that's going to become like, when you have your eyes on the quarterback, you're going to get the opportunity to make a break on the ball to pick passes off, right? It's inherent in zone coverage versus man coverage. You get more opportunities to make interceptions, to make pass breakups, and he's really good at that. So simply by playing in that type of defense, he might not have as good a feel for it. He might not be as good at it, but he might become a ball hawking type of playmaker, right? Kind of like Trevon Diggs for the Cowboys. Now, didn't have the best season in the world by play-by-play grading, but the dude had 11 interceptions and everyone thought he was an all-pro. You know what I mean? Because you get the opportunity to make a ton of plays on the football. Elam might have that going for him, that guy has the capacity to make a ton of plays in coverage, even if he's not as natural in zone as he is in man coverage.
Isn't it one of those, cornerback in general is a boom or bust type of pick? But when you add in the fact that, much like Derek Stingley, Elam's best play came in 2019, 87 grade, down to 77, down to 61 last year, 7 penalties in 10 games last year. Got to cut back on that. Cornerback is a volatile position as it is, but if Elam hits, you get back to what that potential was when he was younger in 2019 could be a huge boom here for the Bills.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. That's a kind of break that a lot of people have given Stingley that hasn't necessarily been applied to Elam. With Elam, you're looking at, you're saying, well, this is just inconsistent. There's a lot of bad tape recently. But if you're being fair, simply showing that high end is more important than when you showed it. And the fact that he's shown, 89, 90 coverage grades a couple of years ago is the important thing, particularly for a guy who's still not 21 years old yet.
Bills looking to fill that need at cornerback 2 with Kaiir Elam.